All right. Okay, so this question gets tossed out a lot, and so I want to kind of go over today. Should you work out when you're sick? Let's go through the obvious one first. If you're throwing up or you have a fever or you think you might be contagious, do not go into public places. Do not go to the gym. So that one needs to be thrown out. Now, if it's your own gym and you want to go in, that's a different story. So you do need to find a rest time. You do need to find a point where you need to listen to your body and be like, I'm obviously sick. I'm not going to go work out. However, when you feel bad, let's say you're coming out of illness or you feel like you might be going into one, especially if you're going into an illness before you're contagious, before you have a fever, this sort of thing, working out's a great idea. It helps move the lymph around, helps move the blood around, helps kind of get things going. It's a great idea. If it's your own personal gym, knock it out. There are caveats to this. The biggest caveat is if it's COVID. Colds and flus are different. COVID is actually a bioweapon. It was designed to do all sorts of damaging things to you. So keep that in mind. The number one thing to do is to check your pulse ox. So if you don't have a pulse ox, let me grab mine. This is a pulse ox. So what it does is you put it on your finger, and it kind of tells you how much oxygen's in your blood and what your heart rate is at the moment. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to try to figure out, where it's at. Give it a second to kind of calibrate, because sometimes it has to calm down a little bit. So what we're looking at is, it's going to give you a top number and a bottom number. You can't see this, but the top number is the percent of oxygen that's in your blood. The bottom number is how hard your heart has to work to keep it there. During COVID, there were a lot of videos I remember one from a guy wearing an LSU lanyard saying he was a surgeon, and his oxygenation was 98 and his heart rate was 114. And he was like, see, masks don't do anything. I'm totally fine. So either he has anger management issues that makes the Hulk look normal, or he has no idea how pulse ox works, which is really scary, because if he's actually a surgeon, I'm guessing he was LSU lanyard. I'm guessing he's an LSU educated person. He's going to kill a lot of people, because if you're a surgeon and you think that 114 is a normal heart rate for 98% oxygen, you're in trouble, guys. The reason this is important is because COVID is a vascular issue. It compresses the blood vessels, decreasing oxygenation to all your tissue. Brain, heart, lung. That's why the cancer rates are going up. That's why you're going to see lots of heart attacks and strokes and plaquing and dementia and all sorts of stuff like that. If you've got COVID, when you're working out, what you will notice is that everything feels pretty cool. Like in between sets, you're good. However, after your set, you're going to feel a lot less in shape. You're going to be winded more. Your heart's going to be a lot faster. It's going to take you a second to and probably 30% to 50% longer to calm down after your set. Like a lot of times you'll lift, you'll get up, and even if you're not breathing perfect, 15, 20 seconds, your heart rate calms down, and all right, you're good. Like you can breathe again like normal, everything's fine. When you have COVID, a lot of times what will end up happening is that after you get done with your set, it'll take you, instead of 15, 20 seconds, it'll take you a minute and a half before your heart rate calms down and you feel like you caught your breath again. And this happens this happens on and off. So if you've got active spike proteins in you, this is something that you're going to see a lot. When we treat people for vaccine damage from the COVID vaccine, this is one of the things we see a lot. Is the heart rate's still high, they're having trouble catching their breath, and so what ends up happening is that they're like, man, I just get dizzy, I get like real lightheaded, I just feel like I'm out of shape more. I've had guys be like, I climb stairs, like I run, right? Like they run 3, 4, 5 miles a day. I'm like, I'll climb a flight of stairs and I'll be extra winded. I'll just be like, man, I don't know what's going on. It's so hard to breathe. So those type of things, you definitely need to monitor that. If you're trying to work out and you start noticing that, check your pulse ox, see what's kind of going on. If you've got stuff that is creating issues, specifically with breathing, that's something you need to. That's not one of those things where you're like, suck it up and tough it out. Don't do that. Figure out what's going on. If you guys need to add in something else, nattokinase, you guys need more NAC, whatever it is, to get that stuff going. The copper peptide, where I'm looking at that for a lot of vascular stuff. That's why it actually helps your hair come back, is because it increases blood flow to the scalp. but it increases blood flow kind of everywhere, especially if you're taking the orals or the injectables. So that's on my radar of things we're looking at. But if you're noticing that when you're working out, you guys need to calm your workouts down. It's going to put extra strain on your heart and your blood vessels. It's going to make you dizzy. Like people will tell me, like, man, I don't know what's going on. Like I've been working out for 20 years, but recently, like I'll do a set and get up and I'm all like lightheaded and I'm kind of like, I feel weak and fatigued for a second. I'm like, yeah, like your heart rate's real fast. Like, yeah, heart rate's fast. Takes me a second to catch my breath. Yep, that's what we're talking about. So if you guys are noticing that, keep that in mind. You want to push yourself through feeling bad. You want to push yourself through uncomfortable. Uncomfortable is where all real growth happens. Whether it's mentally, physically, doesn't matter. Like you live in uncomfortable, you will grow. You will get better. The problem is if you push yourself too hard in an uncomfortable state when you have something like COVID, it can be more detrimental than you think it is. So keep that in mind. These pulse oxes are like $20 on Amazon. Grab them there. Grab them at, we have them at CVS and Walgreens, where I'm at. I don't know what you guys have where you're at. Walmart probably carries them. But jump on Amazon, you can grab them there. It's a really important tool to have. So now, whenever we have patients who call us up and they're like, hey, I've got XYZ, I ask them for the temperature and I also ask them for their pulse ox. Because the pulse ox things are pretty solid tool. If you guys don't have one, grab one. But that's the biggest issue I see with working out when you're sick is if it's a COVID thing, you've got to watch your heart. If your heart rate, if you could like calm your workout down, you're like, all right, cool, I'll take this into account, drop my weights a little bit, drop my rep counts a little bit, listen to my heart, that type of thing. Like feel it, if it starts beating real fast when you're lifting, like that's not normal. Cut your workout back a little bit. That's fantastic. One of the hard things for a lot of people to do is let's say you do cardio after you lift, which if you're going for fat loss, that's the way you want to do it. So you're lifting and you're noticing this, I would cut the cardio out that day, or at least cut it way back. At least monitor the hell out of it. So if you don't have any wearables, you guys need to start getting wearables. The iWatch is fine, Garmin's are fine, Whoots are fine, or I don't really care. Grab the ones that you like and wear it, but you guys need to start taking track of your oxygenation, your heart rate. Those are going to be two really important things as you go through all your training, all your lifting, because as we talk about, damaging the muscle tissue is the name of the game for the gym. However, we're talking about regrowth, we're talking about regeneration, we're talking about long-term health. Regeneration and healing is actually where all that lives. And if you've got lowered oxygen, it's going to be really, really hard for your body to do that. You're also going to put it under a significantly higher strain, not in a good way either. So monitor your pulse ox, kind of figure out where that is. Walk yourself through a workout. Like if you got to cut it down 20, 30, cut it down to 20 or 30% of where you normally are. That's great. Now remember, you should never leave the gym. If you get there and you've got some stuff going on, and you're looking at your pulse ox and you're like, man, I don't know, do a really light, kind of just walk through the motions. Be really, really, just make it a form day. Like really, really, really get super critical tight on your form, because you never want to leave the gym. As soon as you leave the gym for any reason outside of I'm done with my workout, you start creating a habit that you don't have to work out when you go, or like working out's optional, or like going to the gym isn't as important. One of the most important things you're building when you go to the gym is your mental function. It's the commitment, it's the dedication, it's this is how I live my life, this is what I do. So if you already are there and your pulse ox is bad, or you're like, man, I don't know, I'm not feeling it today, do a bad workout. A bad workout is infinitely better than no workout, because sometimes, like I said, it's not for your body, it's for your mind. And so I always tell people there's two reasons you work out: for your body and for your mind, or for your character. The days that you don't want to work out, but you do it anyway, those are the days you build character. Those are the days you build that commitment. Those are the days you build that dedication. Those are the days that you build that loyalty to your goals and to yourself. So do kind of watch out, taper your workout back, but definitely don't skip it. Now, having said that, if you're like, I don't feel good, but I'm going to go anyway, and you get there and you throw up, go home. But that's fine. Like, you're working abs now. You're throwing up. You're doing core work. So, but yeah, as long as you're not throwing up or have a fever, try not to skip your workout, but do kind of monitor your pulse ox, because if you're feeling bad, and if it's a cold, if it's a flu, if it's a sinus infection, whatever, great. Go ahead and work out, as long as you're not having a fever or throwing up. But if you're checking your pulse ox and your pulse ox is, If it's lower than 98 or the heart rate's higher than like 75, start cutting your workout back a little bit. And again, if you start noticing that your heart's beating a lot faster than normal, if it's harder to catch your breath, if you feel like, you're just not like you're breathing, but nothing's happening, right? Like, I don't know, it's not working, I'm not calming down. I'm still out of breath, heart's still going crazy. That's a pretty good indicator that you need to start toning the workout back for that day. But that implies that you have a standard, right? like I've been going to the gym for months and this is different. Like the way my heart's beating now is different. The way I'm breathing is now is different. That's when you need to start calming it back. If you haven't been to the gym for a while and you're breathing hard and your heart rate's going crazy, most likely you're just out of shape and you need to push through that. But check your pulse ox, that'll give us a better indication. So keep that up. If you have your own gym, if you have your own space like I do, go in, and even if you have a light fever or you threw up earlier and you're like, I just want to go walk through a workout, that's actually what I would do. I would do just the trashiest workout ever. I would do 20-30% of my normal stuff, but I would get in there and I would do something, just because again, my thing is I'm going to be committed to doing this every single day regardless. So but that's kind of where that one is. I know we talk about this a lot, but do kind of monitor yourself. It's going to be really, really important that you watch your oxygen levels. So if you guys have any questions, drop them in the comments or hit us up at questions@chalmerswellness.com. Thanks for your time.